So, we're here with Jordan Greenwood for an episode of the Weekly Ramble. Brad isn't here this week, it's just me and a very special guest. So, do you want to introduce yourself, Jordan? Say hello to the viewers.
Oh yeah.
That's Jordan and his little voice. So, I'm just going to have a general chat about things, music, a few laughs. Reminisce a little bit about maybe a few jokes, something like that.
Oh,
So
the old times.
The old times.
The
back in the day. So we'll get started. Lovely jubbly.
Just getting that in there.
Just getting it in. Just have a nice sip.
Oh, that sound.
Lovely.
Lovely jubbly.
Fresh beverage. So how are you doing?
I'm alright.
You doing well?
A little bit nervous.
A little bit nervous.
Put me on edge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People are going to hear this as well. We have listeners from America as well, so...
I feel like Ed Kemper.
Going worldwide.
Really?
Yeah. Special, innit? Reaching out to the world.
Insight into the life of a Yorkshire lad.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is. So, just a little chat about... You're quite a bit of a... You've got a lot of sort of irons in the fire, aren't you? You're a musician. You're a photographer.
It's a really loose term, musician.
Loose. Do you not class yourself as a musician?
I don't know, because I suppose I am, aren't I? But it just sounds really pretentious for me to say it, like...
Well, you play music.
Yeah, I know, but do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm a musician. Like,
you don't like that term, no?
no, I mean...
Do you not like people...
Term,
would you... If you met someone and they described themselves as a musician, would you think they were a bit stuck up?
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe it's just myself that I don't like... Because obviously, yeah, if you write music, you are a musician, aren't you?
Yeah.
But I suppose it's whether your music's... It's subjective as well, isn't it? Whether it's good or bad.
You're still a musician.
But if you're still a musician.
Still write music. Plus, if people like it, like you said, it differs, doesn't it, on people's opinion. Yeah. Some people like it, some people won't.
I just always thought, yeah.
I suppose you could look at it as it's the sort of person who's viewing it can decide if you're a musician. But
that's even more pretentious, isn't it?
It is a little bit.
If you're...
But you can't rely on other people to tell you you're a musician.
No.
Because I think if you're a musician, especially if you're like a frontman, you need to have that confidence to say that you're a musician. Otherwise, you won't be a very good frontman.
Just throat. That's what I am throat. That's what I am.
Noise.
Yeah, just...
Just a voice. So, how's your band doing?
Yeah, they're doing alright.
Doing well?
Nathan's got nerve damage in his hand.
That's nice. How's that going to affect the band?
I don't know.
John's in a band, by the way, a rock band. Do you want to state the name? Do you want to say what band you're in?
Called Dead Last.
They play heavy music.
If anybody asks, it's because of like it's like legacy, innit? When you die, the dead last. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with the fact that we always used to go to a pub quiz and come dead last.
No, you've heard it first. It's not because of that.
Not because of that.
So,
but yeah, we've got a song down to release because we're quite a lazy band, so we haven't really. We've tried and failed at recording, but it's never really worked out. So we're working with Aaron from Defining Lines. Plug them, listen to them.
Another local band. We'll get onto that a little bit later about local bands.
But yeah, he's helping us, and we're getting an EP out there soon. We've got the artwork, we've got a single ready. It's just a case of getting the rest of it done.
Yeah, very good. So, what would you describe your music as? If you have to...
We've been asked this before, and I don't know. When we first started, somebody described us as doom metal. But it's... I don't even know what that is.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I don't think anymore. I think it's just when we first started, we didn't really know what we were doing, so... We were trying to be every other band that we loved, and then it just became whatever it is now.
Yeah, in my opinion, you cross a few boundaries.
Yeah.
You're not one specific type of band.
I think...
you don't fit in a pigeonhole, do you?
Yeah.
You can work with... You could be on a lineup with a few different genres and work, because you've got that sort of... got that sort of new metal sort of vibe.
I think at its core, that's what it is.
But then you've got like a metalcore kind of vibe. But you've also got the like
I think there's a
general
couple of
metal
them.
kind of vibe as well.
There's a couple of them that sound a bit punky.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I just think, well, just blare it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, you get people that seem to like it. Would you say? Would you say you get good feedback off?
yeah, now we do. Well, not that every. I think I've never. It doesn't happen often when people come up and go, "You shit," but I wouldn't do that at a gig either. Do you know what I mean? If I saw bad, I didn't like.
Yeah,
don't
you
go
just
up and go,
won't go again.
You are terrible.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy your performance.
Unless you're a dickhead.
Yeah. So you only ever get the good stuff, don't you? I think.
Yeah.
I think it's when you don't hear anybody say you were good or bad. That's when.
Is that when people just don't say anything?
Yeah.
Does it? Is it? Do you like people telling you that you're good after a gig? Does it help, or do you just not like do you not like it?
I need it for just for my self-confidence.
Ego, bit of an ego boost.
Not an ego.
To prove that you're good enough.
Well, yeah, to prove that it's fucking worthwhile. Do you know what I mean?
To prove that people aren't just going because they feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Because they're actually enjoying the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, and if people are like jumping about and like enjoying it, then it's good. But beforehand, I always get really nervous.
Yeah.
Like I'm almost like, you can't speak to me, like you'll know.
Yeah, he is.
I go into a little kind of.
He is a very different person. I do wind him up as well sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
So
Does me head in.
it's quite funny. But yeah.
But I do think everybody's got a little bit of an ego.
Yeah, I think
It's nice being told what you're doing.
I think it's always people being told that you're good at something.
Yeah.
Everyone.
It's a good
Why
thing,
would you
innit?
not like that?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think no matter whether you're a professional musician or whether you're just starting out in like an amateur like a local band, to be told that you're good and that people like what you're doing because you're doing it. You're not doing it for like you're doing it. You're writing the songs.
Yeah.
It's come from you. So someone to come up and say, "Oh, I love that song."
I think you need it as well especially when you're a new band.
Yeah.
So at least people that say like, "Oh no, there's something there." Like,
Yeah.
keep
going because if everyone to the
Feels
point
like
actually,
you are fucking terrible, then.
just don't do it.
Yeah.
Just stay at home. So yeah,
Don't bother.
don't bother doing it. No one's told you that, have they? Has anyone told you to just not bother?
There was one instance where like I thought, oh, I can't be bothered anymore.
Yeah.
And it was a Catholic club, and there were somebody went live. I can't remember who it was, but then somebody commented on it saying, "Oh God, it's like what the hell is that?" Like that we were playing.
Yeah.
And a lad I know from work told me that at the same gig, somebody beside him said when are the real band's on.
Ouch.
But again, like I don't know if it's just because he didn't like.
Yeah, I think it's one of them things. You if a person that's not into that type of music goes to a gig, well, they could go to they could go to a Metallica gig, yeah, and say it's shit just because they don't like it.
Yeah.
Like,
you get
it's
that
an
all the
opinion.
time with metal, though, don't you? It's like, how can you listen to
well,
that?
this is the thing.
Can't
It's a
understand what they're
very
saying, it's like...
yeah, and we're gonna get onto that actually. We're gonna get onto how metal is. We've got a few just on how you think metal is viewed in terms of generally. Like, do you think as a metal? Because I know, like, especially in America, metal rock, probably being the biggest. Aside from probably country, is probably like. It seems very big over there.
Yeah.
Like, it seems everyone loves the bands. But over here, we seem to have it a little bit different, don't we? Everyone's like, you seem to be a minority if you're a metal fan.
I like that though.
Do you like that? Is that?
Yeah, I think
do you like being
you're a bit like
the odd one out kind of thing?
You're in a little bit of a
like
cult,
you're different.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Like I think I've said to you before, but like, it's different with. It is different with metal fans. I think sometimes where like. You walk down the street and you see somebody wearing like
a t-shirt,
a Slipknot t-shirt, an Architects t-shirt,
and
or just something.
Just
You've
like
just got that. Even if it's just you're nodding inside,
yeah,
you're just
like,
going.
It's like
it's
like a bond you've got.
Yeah. It's like
you appreciate
bond,
it. Yeah.
But I just don't think you'd get that with like.
If someone with like a pop music and stuff.
Kanye t-shirt on, you're walking around and another guy's wearing a Kanye t-shirt. Yeah. Kanye.
Do you think that metal music gets the credit it deserves? Do you think it should be like more mainstream? Because there is some metal out there which is like some rock that is mainstream.
Yeah.
Do you think that to become a mainstream, do you think bands have to give up too much? Because I do. I think if a rock metal band,
you've got
you've got to sacrifice what you're about, kind of thing, to become mainstream, because you can't have certain lyrics, you can't be too heavy, you've got to be like, you know what I mean? You couldn't have.
I think it's mainly that, innit? You can't be too heavy if you want to be. Like, if you look at, like, I mean, I didn't really ever listen to Bring Me the Horizon, their early stuff, but what they've done,
and what they've done now.
I mean, they obviously wanted to do it and
Yeah.
go a little bit poppier and stuff, but like, and it worked for them.
They seem to have like both. They seem to still have the E like that.
But you've got they'll appeal to like a younger fan base now and stuff.
It's like that sort of pop.
But imagine being like, you know, going to a Bring Me the Horizon gig and only really knowing maybe the last 2 albums, and then they come out with like.
Well, we were talking, weren't we? They did. I think they were playing Wembley, somewhere like that, like an arena, and they basically played the first 2 albums, which is basically like deathcore.
Yeah.
And they literally played that to a bunch of like 14-year-olds, and it was funny.
Terrifying. Though,
it was funny because I think they did it because they can, because that's.
But again, they're going to try and please both fan bases.
Well, I think that's what it is. It's that you don't want if you do change, you don't want to forget where you came from, because if you do, then that's where I think bands can go wrong, because you're not a rock band anymore. If you completely sacrifice how you started off. So
I remember when I went to see the Cult in Leeds.
Yeah.
And Ian Astbury's from Bradford originally, but he's like lived his whole life in America, I think.
Yeah.
And obviously every time you go to a gig in Leeds, it's just Yorkshire.
Yeah.
And he's just in the most American accent ever. He just went, "I know where I'm from, okay." And it was like, okay.
Well, there's a few. Can't remember his name. The lead singer from Asking Alexandria. I think they're from York, but he speaks in an American accent now.
Does he live there?
He lives in America, but he speaks in an American accent. But they're from York. But he even if you see him on TV or an interview, he will speak. You can tell it's fake.
Yeah.
But he'll put it on, and it's just very strange. It's like you're trying to be something you're not.
It's like Joey Barton, isn't it?
Just like own where you're from.
Where did he go? Joey Barton.
France, went to Marseille.
Anyway,
started talking French.
And, they play when they best to me. Like, you've been there about 6 months.
It's like, you're from Liverpool. Yeah. Stop it. So, but getting on to mainstream metal, Slipknot new album.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Number 1.
It's just
record in UK and Ireland. And it's not. I'm surprised by it, to be honest, because it's a new thing. I've never seen it.
I'm surprised that like.
I think is it the first time in 20 years since the first album came out. I think
the first number 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was it. And they're not Ed Sheeran off as well. So that's a big deal.
How long
in
has
this
he been
country.
there at number 1?
Who?
Ed Sheeran.
I don't know, but I think it was a few months. But that's a big deal. I'd say it's a big deal for because especially for just metal in general.
Yeah.
Because it's not an album where they've just gone soft.
No.
Is it? It's just an album they've produced. It's just an album. They're not doing. They didn't make it to get we want to get in the charts here. They just made an album.
It's just
So does that tell you more about that? There's more people that actually like metal than what you'd think. Because I think you need a lot of people to listen to it to get number 1 album.
I think it's Slipknot, isn't it?
Do you think it's just Slipknot?
If you think of modern metal, like from the millennium onwards, before that, you've got like Metallica, Maiden, Sabbath, and everyone, haven't you? And then it's the same when you come to the download headliners. It's always those guys, the big dogs. And then there's always those other bands that you're waiting to take the mantle. Yeah. And Slipknot did
They're
that.
in the middle, aren't they? Slipknot are in that.
Well, I think Slipknot over the last 20 years they are the biggest metal band.
Oh yeah.
I do. And then the only other bands that I think who had Avenged did it, and a lot of people were like, nah, but I think they deserve to be a headliner. I have modern metal bands. Yeah. I think.
Well, they came up around the same time, didn't they? They felt like a fairly.
Yeah.
Like we grew up on them, kind of thing.
Like I'm not. Because Linkin Park, it's new metal in it, but then from then on, you wouldn't really say they were a metal band.
No,
but who have stuck to the guns and always been the same. Slipknot.
Yeah. Across.
Big dogs, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're right up there.
And I think that's what it is, isn't it? I think that probably says a lot about. Probably says more than what I think. I think some people aren't appreciating how big that actually is.
Yeah.
Because Ed Sheeran is so popular.
Did I send you that Sun clipping?
Yeah, the Sun clip. Where
the fact that doesn't get approved by somebody, or just get somebody that knows Slipknot to write
goes,
it.
Do you know what? Maybe you shouldn't write that because it's ignorant.
And it was like
it's so ignorant.
I'm sure they mentioned like
silly band.
They're gonna have a good career.
It's like are
they? Yeah.
He's like 47.
I hope they do
He's been
well.
around for 20 years.
These 9 lads.
I think they call them silly men in masks.
Silly men in masks.
Just I think that's ignorant.
Yeah, no, it's rude.
It's ignorant because like do your research. Yeah. And it's like I think that's a big deal because I think in the last couple of years.
What was the last like rock or metal album to do well?
In this country?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like proper metal? I don't know.
Nothing that was right.
Nothing that's ever like that's
because even
I think that's why it was
just like deal. I don't know if like a Foo Fighters album got to top of charts, you'd be like, all right, yeah. But the fact that it's Slipknot,
and it's like different, and it's completely like left field compared to what it normally is.
Because the way Slipknot sound, if you're a metal fan, I think most metal fans do like Slipknot.
Yeah,
or at least some songs. Yeah. But like it's a niche sound.
It is. It's a very like you don't normally like Slipknot if you like the regular.
You don't just
you don't
mind Slipknot.
You like them.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. You don't normally go.
It's like an event when they bring.
People don't just put Slipknot on for like easy listening. Like, you know what I mean? It's not on like a mainstream.
Disaster piece. Just like,
yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I think
it's chilling out.
So I think, do you think, to me personally, the last few years, do you think, sort of metal music has sort of how would I say it, lost its kind of individuality? Some bands are they don't seem to be that like next genre bands which are pushing. There don't seem to be as many bands coming up. It seems to be a bit stagnant. You know, with certain bands, would you say that?
I think there's plenty.
Do you think there is?
Yeah. I think but with a band like Slipknot, I'm just gonna keep spending an hour talking about Slipknot. Yeah. But I don't know, like because especially with new metal, that one it was a new sound, wasn't it? Then you had like new metal, you had pop punk. But if you think about where rock and metal can go, like, it's weird. Like, where does it go?
Well, I think that's what it is, isn't it?
I think the last thing to happen, I think maybe like the last 5-6 years, is metalcore has become like quite a big thing. Yeah. And the whole
what you also
windmill in your arms type.
Well, that's the thing, and then what you also see is what I think another thing is a lot of like rappers and different like stuff like that. I think if you talk to like rappers, a lot of them do say their influences. They grew up listening to, say, Slipknot and Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
And bands like that, and they get some of their, even though you wouldn't necessarily see it, like maybe their lyrics, because you see some artists like that emo. I think it's like they call it like emo rap, and it's like really like emotional lyrics. So it's like the lyrics that you might get in like a metal song, or a pop punk song or something, or like an emo song, but it's a rap song. You know what I mean? So like you get like kids that are growing up listening to Marilyn Manson, Slipknot, Linkin Park, Korn, but instead of becoming in a metal band, they become a rapper. But they've still got they're still telling the same sort of story. Yeah. But they're not in a band. They just because I think there's a few. I think the main one was Little Peep, and he was
no idea who that is.
Basically, from what he was like a rapper, but his lyrics were very dark for what you consider rap lyrics to be about. So they went along. You could have put them lyrics in like an emo song, like a you know what I mean? They were very like dark, about like very like sort of disturbing even.
I think you need to have that, not to bracket everything, but if you're saying that, you could have like emo themes but in a rap song. Yeah. I think Eminem were doing that before that.
Yeah. Well,
what is it? What song is it? Is it Kim?
Well,
but he goes in on about like
because if you listen to someone like Eminem, like especially Eminem's old stuff. Yeah. He came up around the same time as some of these bands were coming up. Yeah. And I've seen interviews with him, and he said he used to listen to them bands. And he were fans of that music, because that's where he gets his influences from. Just because you're not doing the same music as somebody, you might be doing a completely different style of music, but you can still take an influence about how you write music. Yeah. Like, it's more about the writing process in terms of lyrics, and about expressing yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because no matter where you put it, all types of music is. I think the difference is, I think the reason why that emo rap, I think they call it. I'm not a massive fan myself, to be honest, but I think with younger
They have to give it a name.
I think the younger generation, I think, it's quite popular with them because when we were growing up, they were like emos, weren't they? And it was like the way they dress, like scene kids kind of thing.
I still get called an emo.
You do.
I was never an emo.
You do. He does get called an emo. 27 next week, and he gets called an emo. So, how do you feel about that?
What, 10 and 27?
Being called an emo. So.
I don't have to. It don't bother me that much. But I never was. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that's the view people have though? If you like metal and you wear
I think it's
merch,
it's so easy to be
labelled
emo.
Yeah.
Like just because
rock or
you're
wearing a band t-shirt.
Yeah. If you're wearing black and you you're dressed
You
a little bit
different.
alternatively, you're an emo.
Yeah.
Just correct them. No, I'm not.
Do you think people's opinions should change on that?
We'll just be a bit more educated.
Do you think that's what it is? Do you think people are just ignorant?
These people, yeah, they call you emo, but then they'll still belt out friggin'.
Well, I think that's
Black
the
Parade,
thing. You get a lot of people, don't you, where, like, especially when we went to school with people, they pick on you for being emo or a goth.
Yeah.
But you talk to them now, and they'll listen to the same sort of music that you listen to, but they don't dress the same. Then that's the difference. Is people don't.
There's plenty of people that go through school as well, bullying people for listening to that kind of stuff, and then
or wearing certain clothes.
And now
they're doing.
Now they're like,
same.
oh yeah, Slipknot's now.
Oh, Slipknot, yeah, I wear Vans.
Lovely.
I wear Converse.
So I'm going to download.
Talk about metal and the way people feel about metal. How do you feel about the local? Given that you're in a local band, like a amateur band, what do you feel about the local music scene?
I just love how you go amateur band. No, yeah,
would you call yourself an amateur band?
We don't make money off it really, so we can't call ourselves professional.
That's what I mean.
So it is. No, I agree with you. I just don't know. What, the local scene?
Yeah, like local scene, not necessarily just Halifax, but like local bands. And how do you think you being in a band? Because you obviously will see it. You will see.
I mean, we haven't played everywhere, even locally. We haven't played Huddersfield.
Do you think there's a few of what you do know? Do you think there's some good bands that?
There is, but I think. Well, going off Halifax anyway, there needs to be more of an effort to showcase them.
Well, that's what. Do you think? Yeah, do you think there needs to be more to promote it?
Yeah, like I have been
to accommodate it.
I mean, there's like the Lantern's open, which is decent, and they get like a lot of touring bands and stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, you kind of have to, and you've got the Old Cock, but they're more often not just put cover bands on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gundog, we tried to get a gig there, and it was like, oh, come with this band get put on here. And he like, what kind of music is it? I was like, oh, it's quite blurry, screaming, and he went, no. Just outright no. And then he still showed me the room where we could have played. I was like,
just rubbing it in.
Yeah. But there needs some, because ever since like,
didn't that put a lot of bands off? Not having anywhere to play, and not having anywhere to.
I reckon if you're young,
if
you're really young and starting out, then yeah. Because
if it was
I don't know,
easy
you're a
to get a gig,
15-year-old band, like you're not going to be looking at gigs in like all over the place, are you?
No, because you can't drink. You just
want
want somewhere where
you probably can't, you can't drive yet, you can't get there, so. But for an older band, maybe, I don't know, maybe not, because you can still get to other places.
You can, but it's one of them, and I think
you've got to be good at marketing yourself.
And you've got to be committed as well. You've got to want to do it really bad, because if you've got to struggle just to find somewhere to play a gig,
yeah,
like. If that takes all your time, some people might just go, you know what, even they could be amazing at what they do. They could be like the next big thing. But because of how difficult it is...
No one can find it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it? I've been to a couple of your gigs and there's been some really good bands. And it's like, they should be, like, bands should be just bigger than they are, but they're not, because...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there is an underground scene. But I mean more like these small towns like Halifax.
Yeah.
There's nothing, is there, really? There's no like one place where it's like a mecca for local bands. There's not that one venue where places go.
I think with Spotify especially, it's so much easier to get your music out there, but then it's a lot harder to be noticed.
Yeah.
Because everything's there.
Yeah.
Like
it's alright putting your music out, but if you want to play a gig,
yeah,
like
like I'd love to have been, growing up in like the mid-80s and stuff, but where you'd hear about bands and you had to go to a gig to listen to them.
because there were no other way of listening to them.
And then you might buy like a tape or something.
Yeah, or just
bring it home and you just
the only way you could listen to them was going to see them live.
Yeah, and that's where you obviously discover new bands and stuff.
That's probably why they were so. That's how bands like Nirvana got big.
Yeah.
Just they just turn up at a place and go, "We're a band. Can we play your?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, okay." And you might get 20, you might get 10 people there, but that one person will go and go, "You know what? That band's sick."
Yeah.
And then they get more people, and it's like, you have to. It's like, whereas now, like you said, you could be a band and you could never have played a gig in your life.
Yeah.
But you could have 10,000 listeners on Spotify.
I think there's bands that do that.
Yeah, they just don't play gigs.
They
literally don't play gigs.
Yeah.
All their money, and they might sell like T-shirts and like merch, but they don't play gigs.
It's like, I can't remember which documentary I watched, but it was on the Ramones. And there's a guy talking about them when they first started playing CBGBs, and he was there, and he said, they said, "Oh, it's the worst thing I've ever seen," after seeing the Ramones.
Yeah.
But he went back the next night because there was just something about them that made him come back. And he was
That's
like, I've got to see this again. But with it, because the Ramones, I think they pay.
Well, this is
the
the
old G's, aren't they? Like fucking.
It's one of them things, isn't it? There's a reason why people go to gigs. There's something about it, about seeing a band.
No, there is. It's like empowering almost, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like being there. I mean, you can listen to it all you want.
It's healthy.
And it's like the purest way. It's like a pure form, innit?
Yeah.
It's like you're there. They're just playing an instrument.
Yeah.
It's like raw. It's not like doctored. Like
how many times? Feel, isn't it?
It's just like pure. It's like how many times have you been to a gig and they'll just play a riff that's not even the same as what. They'll just change the riff, like in a song. They'll just add some on because it's just they can. It's like in the moment, innit?
I had after that gig on Saturday, there was Tom who was doing the sound, and he said to me afterwards, he was like, "Oh, it's like you're doing all this screaming, like, but you should do more singing, sort of thing." And I was like, "Well, I kind of like screaming."
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, if music isn't melody, what is it?" And like I disagree with that. I was like, "Well, music is just how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel good.
If you just want to scream into a mic, that's it. And you just want to have fucking like a machine gun drumming in the background.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I think that's probably quite an ignorant, a narrow-minded view of that.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Because there is some people just express it in different ways.
Exactly.
So it comes out in different ways. Like not everybody wants that like clean, like a hook. Not everybody wants that. Not everybody wants like a nice like just the. I think sometimes music can be too precise. Can be too like you hear bands, don't you? And they just it's like it's cleaned up within an inch of its life, so it sounds perfect.
Yeah.
And I think music sometimes isn't like that. It has to be like
the best example of that. Well, that to me anyway is Rage Against the Machine's first album.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure like a lot of that was just like live takes of the whole thing.
But you listen to it and it's like, but you can feel it.
I tried to push that every time we recorded.
What that sort of?
Yeah, but it always kind of failed, and I think I'm probably picky on my own voice.
Yeah.
So every time we did it, I wanted it to have that really raw sound.
Yeah.
But like it could never sound how I actually wanted it to sound. So now we are doing it properly. And,
But I think some people have a view where if it doesn't sound perfect, do you know what I mean? If it doesn't sound cut and even and like I think that's probably just like the way streaming and you can listen to it on Spotify and you can listen to like bands which are heavy but they're so like tidied up and so neat and so packaged and it's produced. It's something like.
I think I prevail a bit like that.
Are they? I think there's a few bands.
It's really polished, but it works so well to get a massive sound.
Yeah,
but it is really.
And I think sometimes it can work, but sometimes it can be detrimental to if you sort of get into the music. If you get into the metal genre, listening to that sort of music, and then you go to say your kind of gig, and it's a bit rough and it's a bit ready and it's a bit raw and it's a bit. There's a few mistakes. People they get put off by it because it's not. Do you know what I mean? It's not perfect. It's not.
There was one thing that a guy said to me in Cookies, and he was like, I don't know if we played a gig yet, but he said to me, he was like, I think we might have just been starting actually, but the one thing he said to me was if people can tell you're honest, then whether they like you or not, they'll at least respect you for going up there and being honest
Yeah.
with what you're doing. Like,
That's what it is, isn't it? Like,
but I like that when like you're saying, without everything being polished. But if you can hear like a really raw take
yeah,
on
that's
a
what I mean.
song,
Even if you
I connect with that, I'm
don't
like,
even
yes,
if you
like-
that's a bit. But if you can tell it's coming from somewhere,
yeah,
like they're doing it, and it's like there's like emotion in it. You can tell that, especially with like metal music. I think it's a very emotional in it. It's very.
yeah.
It's a very. Like, especially like someone that's
With new metal and a lot.
yeah, it's very. It's
with
very,
actual heavy metal, it's a bit more like theatre that. Isn't
yeah.
it? Like with Dio and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was like Black Sabbath and stuff like that.
After the wish.
How did you come about getting, like, when did you think, I want to start a band?
I don't know, when I was like 11, and then never had the balls to do it.
So since then?
Probably.
How did you come about getting the band you've got now?
We were in Cookies, and I was had a bit to drink. And Chris was there, and I didn't know him at the time. In fact, Nathan was there as well. But Chris was wearing like a sawn-off denim vest. And I just tapped him and I was like, "Hey dude, you should like get some patches sawn off that. It looked well cool." And he just turned around and he was like, "Are you that guy that just screams AC/DC in your ears on karaoke?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's me." And he was like, "Do you want to start a band?" I was like, "Yeah, go on then." And like, obviously I was a bit pissed, so I didn't think what would come of it. I think I gave Chris my number. And then a week went by and I think he texted me. And then when he texted me, I was like, "Oh no, he was being serious." So to me, I didn't know how good he was. Or how good Nathan was, or anything like that. So I was like proper nervous. So I think even before the first practice, I'd had a couple of beers, and I was like,
"Shit yourself."
Yeah, and I went up, and Danny and Mikey were there from State of Error, and I didn't know it was State of Error at the time. And then after we played, I saw something on the wall, and I was like, "Oh, you guys State of Error?" Had I known that they were State of Error, I'd have been even more nervous because I kind of knew of them from Thackeray, and he was always just a push. He was like, "You need to listen to these guys." I was like, "Oh yeah, whatever." But yeah, we did that one practice. Went through a couple of bassists, a couple of drummers.
To where you are now?
To where we are now.
Getting your first song put out there.
Oh, it's quite good, isn't it? Been sat on these songs for ages.
Have you? You look forward to it? To actually getting out there?
I don't know, because I like what we've done, but then I've never actually... Because when you do it live, you can almost get away with it afterwards, and then people can go away and forget about it.
But when it's out
when
there,
it's out there,
when it's out there on Spotify,
on Spotify,
people can just listen to it any time.
It's whether people actually like the songs rather than watching us live.
Yeah, is a difference.
It sounds weird, doesn't it? But
like difference. Yeah, there's a difference. Whether people just want to, if they want music, whether they're going to put you on.
Yeah.
Because different people turn to a gig on a Saturday night when they're already going out.
Yeah.
And they nip in and have a few beers and listen to music. But it's whether they want to actually go, you know what, I want to listen to this band.
Yeah.
I want to listen to this album or whatever. Like, they have to go out the way to do it then.
Yeah, they got the choice.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you go, do you want to listen to this band? They could say, no. I wouldn't put them on my playlist.
Not a fan.
But then again, how do you get out? Like, that's the way it's sort of going nowadays. You need to just get yourself out there, don't you? You've got to...
I think, yeah, you need to market yourself brilliantly.
Yeah.
Again, it probably is like 80% luck as well. To actually be a band and then, I don't know, be signed and get pushed and everything.
You might have... All it takes, though, is one person to go, how good they are.
Yeah, yeah.
And be like...
The right person to think
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then, yeah.
And then be like... Someone might just be like on Spotify, and they go, "I'll give these a listen." So they might not be from around here. They might be from somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
So they don't have a chance to see you, and they go, "Fucking hell, these have got potential." Then they find out who you are, and it's that is just luck. But you wouldn't have done it, and I suppose that's a new way. Because unless you want to go just travelling in a bus, around the country, getting in debt, earning 40 quid a night every gig, and spending it all on petrol to get to the next gig, like, that's the way to do it.
Breaking down.
And you'd have to quit your job, and no, you can't afford that. So this is the way to get yourself out there, and hope that something comes of it. Because you go on Spotify, and there's so many bands which have couple of hundred, 1,000 monthly listeners, and they are really good. Like, they should be better than they are, but they're just not, because...
You see a lot of bands, don't you? Just like... I mean, like, growing up, like Heaven's Basement, they're one of my favourite bands. And when you're younger, you don't think out of it. You're just like, oh, these are mint.
Oh, yeah,
like,
good, yeah.
But then there must be something there where they're just not making money
Yeah,
or what.
that's
I know they
stay at a level, don't
yeah.
they? They sort of you as a fan, you probably don't notice it as much. But when you look at it, when you're in a band and you go, why are they not bigger?
Yeah.
Like they should be bigger than they are.
Yeah, cause like there's bands like Random Hands, like they stopped for ages, and you don't know whether it is because like they just couldn't make any money off it, and they couldn't.
I think that's the thing. And some bands probably it gets to a point where they have to make money.
Yeah.
If like to keep going, they probably have to start making money because it can cost a lot. You know what I mean? Equipment, travelling.
Oh yeah.
Doing stuff like that. You need to start making a little bit of money on it, and if you can't afford it, don't matter how bad you want to do it. If you're like 35-year-old, like, and your band's not making money, you've kind of got to go.
It's like, look, Trev, right? You've been doing this a while now, and it doesn't seem to be working. Can you just like?
I quit my job at Asda for this. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I could have been a supervisor.
You told me we were going to make some money. My wife left me. I took kids.
Oh, we've got nothing.
With a bus, broken down in Lincoln. With you.
Got a gig in an hour.
Got
guitar's broke.
So, just generally as well, do you think there's a good future for? Do you think for local bands, like local metal, do you still think that they'll be doing it in 20 years' time?
Yeah.
You still think they will?
Yeah.
Think it'll just go on, like, it'll always be happening?
It's got longevity, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's metal. I think
do you think
it's nice to feel part of that little cult that it's got.
Do you think?
Because like you're saying about like metal being mainstream, you wouldn't want it to be that mainstream because then you wouldn't feel as special being part of it.
There's something in that, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's something being that like the sort of a select few, kind of part of something that's not everyone knows about.
Yeah.
And that's a bit like it's like yours, isn't it? It's like you can own it. It's like when you first listen to a band and no one else knows about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're really good. And you kind of want to tell people about this band because you want to listen to it with them.
But then you don't really want them to.
You don't want them because you don't want them to really enjoy it because it's yours.
Yeah,
because you
like,
found it.
I found this band.
You found this band, and then they go, "I'm a fan." You're like, "No, you're not a fan. I'm the real fan.
Yeah.
I found them. Like, you didn't know about them until I told you." So yeah, you're a musician. You're also a bit of a you're a professional photographer. You could say you're professional at that. Would you say so?
I'll take that. Yeah.
Professional photographer.
Yeah, because I actually get paid for the work I do. So yeah.
Yeah, you do. You
I'll take photos.
make a living
Make
out of that.
Yeah.
Weddings.
Music videos, stuff like that.
See, how are you doing with that? Is that going well?
Yeah. It's weird because you don't ever. I think when I went to uni and stuff, I always wanted to do something with cameras. But then I think at first I thought I wanted to be a director of like British films, like gritty cinema.
Yeah.
And then I don't really think I was cut out for it, so I left, got a job selling key rings in a nightclub. I think that's where I learned more about the photography side of things.
Yeah.
And then a friend was getting married, so I shot her wedding. And then I did a video of somebody else's wedding for about 60 quid, which is really cheap.
What, looking back now?
Yeah, because I put it into like, what would be like the minimum wage for an 8-hour day or something? Do you know, a standard
Yeah,
job,
you don't want to. Also, they're taking a risk on you because they're giving you a chance, and if you're shit, like their weddings,
exactly.
So
I did. It's hard because you don't really want to.
You don't want to
charge them a lot. And then,
I've never done this before, but I'm charging you 300 quid.
Yeah.
Right.
And people do that, and like it sounds horrible, but like you see a lot of other people's work, but you can tell good photographers from bad photographers.
Yeah.
And like so you'll see people's work and you'll be like they're charging that much, and you just feel like sometimes people are just charging like in the thousands.
Yeah. And they're not that good
because everybody's familiar with wedding photographers charging in the thousands.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh well, that's what other people do. But if you're not offering the same, the same service that other photographers are, then it's stupid.
Do you see anything kind of your music and your photography ever coming together?
I mean, I'll probably do the videos for us.
Yeah.
But I do like to keep them separate a bit.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't. I do like sharing my band stuff on like my social media, so that because I don't mind like the couples that book me and stuff to know me a little.
Yeah,
you don't want them to book me and not know
what you're about, who you are.
I mean, like you kind of want them because
You
you don't want to feel like you're doing a job at the end of the day. You want them to be friends.
Yeah, I suppose you don't want to turn up on their wedding day and then be like, oh shit,
like,
I didn't know them like this.
Yeah.
And then you want them to be comfortable
This email turning
before they book you. You want them to be like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
This is like what. If you don't like me, go and find someone else. Kind of thing.
Well, I think it's important to.
Yeah, show your true self.
Yeah. So at least when I first meet them, you can kind of tell whether you're going to get on with people.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel like you're going to get on with them, it's probably not best to take the booking or whatever, because in the end they might not ever be happy with what you've done. Do you know what I mean?
Have you ever had that? Have you ever had an experience where they just not being happy?
No, not overall, but like maybe certain photos and stuff like that. But but in general, I haven't had a really bad experience.
Yeah. What would your dream photography job be?
You can't ask me that. I'm a wedding photographer.
No, but like.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, if someone came to you and went, you're gonna like, I'll give you whatever you want job. Like, you can have whatever job you want. What would you do? Like, would you go and tour bands? Would you? Yeah. Would you do that?
Well, I think the idea of it maybe sounds better than it is.
Right.
Oh, then I don't know because I ain't done it. But yeah, the idea of touring with a band that I love. Because if you're a band's photographer as well, you're going to be, you will be pally with the band.
Well, you will, because you're going to be, you become like an extension of the band.
Yeah, you become like the road.
Because like nowadays, even like world famous bands posting pictures and social media, especially like Instagram, it's a big like you see them at a gig and they just post concert photos and they've got to be good. Like they can't be just not just one fan photo. Like you see people and they're getting in there while they're playing and they're like in the face, aren't they? And so like I don't think you look at that as a job, would you? Because you're like
it'd be like
you're doing something that you're good at, but you're also doing something that you're enjoying. Like you're getting paid to do this. You're getting paid to like take pictures of like Metallica or video Metallica.
Quite like that one.
Just getting paid to do it.
Just
and then going out, and then
just turn around,
and then hanging out with them afterwards, having a beer.
Yeah, that'd be sick though, wouldn't it? I think probably the most exciting band I think I could photograph would be like Crossfade.
Just wild.
They're just mental, aren't they?
Would you be one of them? Would you get in crowd?
Yeah.
Would you just like have one of them like fat video where you just in pit?
Yeah. I would though. Like.
Would you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Have like a GoPro. Have a GoPro in your head. Jump in.
I did that for a promo for a nightclub.
Did you?
Yeah, we won't say which one.
No.
But I was just
you were dancing.
And the thing is, it was so. I mean, I liked the editing side of it. I think really, but the actual filming side, because I don't really like sort of club chart music. Yeah. So to be in a club, like pretending to enjoy music,
it was like a job.
It was on my head, so I was like, I was pretending to like I had my eyes in front of me, like
finger guns.
Yeah, finger guns, just like I'm getting into this, whoa, yeah, and like high fiving people and stuff, and like pretending to do a shot, and like,
trying to make it look.
Yeah, because you had to sell it, you know what I mean? And then I don't even think it ever got used, so I did it for nothing.
Dear me. So I've had a nice chat, haven't we? It's been nice. This. Got your opinion on some stuff.
Oh,
yeah. You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Get yourself out there. People, remember the name.
J Green.
JG. Just JG.
Can I ask you some questions now?
If you want to. Roles reversed.
I have nothing planned.
You have nothing planned.
I just wanna.
Oh,
I like that band, by the way. That you sent me.
Do you like that band?
Yeah, what were they called?
Losers.
Say it again.
Losers.
Loser.
Fucking losers.
Fucking loser.
Yeah, fucking losers.
No, they were good. They had like.
Well,
Fever, Deftones.
I'll listen to it.
Like
they've got like a new metal. They literally it's new metal, but it's like modern-y new metal, and I find it very.
They were like trap in there as well, though, wasn't it?
I was like, this sounds a little bit like what you're going for. Some of your songs sound a little bit like that sort of.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought you'd like them because literally in the description it goes, "We are fans of Linkin Park, Papa Roach, and Slipknot." That was in the description. What they said they got. I was like, "Oh, Jordan, I like this."
There's a page that I follow that's just like all new metal stuff, and it was like, oh, which table do you sit at? Like one of those really like crappy little photos.
Oh,
like
yeah.
like a thing, like a dinner hall at school.
Number 1 to 10, yeah.
And like each table had 2 bands on it. One table was Biscuit and Linkin Park, and the other one was System and Rage Against the Machine. And I've never been so torn. I'm like, where do I sit?
Can I push them together?
Yeah, can we just join forces here,
Can I
guys?
plank across them?
I couldn't decide.
So, hope everyone's enjoyed this. This is my first solo experience with Brad. He will be back. We are planning
You did well though.
We are planning a crime one, another crime one. If anyone enjoyed the last crime one, you need to start giving us more feedback because we're just winging it here. And we've had a few nice comments, especially on the last crime one. We got some nice comments on that saying that we did a good, respectful job, which I'm glad because I was shitting myself.
I listened to half of it. Not that it was terrible.
It was quite long.
It
was quite long. That's one thing that we're gonna make them a lot more bite-sized,
snappy.
Yeah, a bit more easy listening because no one's got a.
I want to see you do it all in
You're
30
all
seconds.
You're all fucking like you've got attention span of a goldfish, so we have to. It's like looking after babies here. So thank you very much. Do you want to say bye, Jordan?
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. That's Jordan Greenwood. Oh, Jordan, we'll in the description we'll post these links to his band and his photography, his Facebook and stuff. So
we've got a gig this Sunday. If you wanna come down, George Fest.
George Fest in Halifax.
9 p.m.
9 p.m. If anyone's interested in that,
It's
I'm
my
not gonna
birthday at midnight.
buy him a drink.
Maybe.
Just to go there, listen to his band.
Beer's free.
It's
not for everybody.
Not for everyone.
Bands that are playing.
But he gets free beer. So if you want to go there and try and nick his free beer, then go for it.
Yeah, do it.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you next week.